It is time.
Why don't we talk about the Weeknd?
I would love to
So
talk
you're a
about...
pop guy. You're a pop guy, Adam. So how did you like? Have you ever seen him before?
Not live. Like there was one incredible session of the Weeknd, I think on the Vivo stage that really like blew my mind, where it was like just he was in a corner with walls of video walls, and everything was perfectly like created like this augmented reality experience that was live with the performance. And that was the moment I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a fucking pop star. And like just watching that performance and his ability to like own that stage and like create like this immersive experience. And then of course like there's the Super Bowl performance.
I saw that actually last night, just because I didn't really know that much about the Weeknd, and I just Googled him and I was like, oh, he did the Super Bowl. I want to watch that.
Just really interesting production choices, like the mirror experience he created, and like that very disorienting and like very artistic kind of performance. Just really, really interesting. I don't know if I don't have a very intimate understanding of the Weeknd, but it's one of the performers that when it comes on, it's like, yeah, this slaps.
I want to get intimate with the Weeknd.
Hell yeah.
Well,
we're about to right now on Galaxy Jams Reacts, getting intimate with the Weeknd. So let's see what we pulled together here. So the Weeknd for this song Starboy contacted Daft Punk through multiple friends in the Canadian music scene. If you don't know, the Weeknd's Canadian. And then he was subsequently invited to a studio in Paris to work with them. Super dope. Love Daft Punk. During his session recording the song I Feel It Coming, the Weeknd could hear a separate track leaking into the studio booth from the control room. He discovered that the track was a beat that one of the members of Daft Punk had been playing from a personal device. Inspired by the sound, the Weeknd immediately wrote material for it, forming the basis for Starboy. The video has been described as the Weeknd's attempt to murder his former personality, so I think we're going to see a little...
Some ultra violence.
Ooh,
something.
Yeah.
And as of February 2022, the video has over 2 billion views on YouTube, taking it into the top 70 most viewed YouTube videos.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So,
and go on.
Is there an actual murder in this video?
Right.
I mean,
like the wording was so intense for that.
I know this is gonna be dope. So here we are, listening to the Weeknd featuring Daft Punk, Starboy, from their 2016 release on Galaxy Jams Reacts. Like, I just love those tones. Just assaulted with like this wall of sound.
Like an organ.
Like that rumbling. Ooh.
Just a little fuzz.
Very dark. Comes to murder. Murder.
You were right.
I always wonder why you don't bite through the bag.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church shoes. Really point to just to hurt you. All red lamb just to tease you. None of these toys on lease to. Made your whole year in a week too. Main bitch out of your league too. Side bitch out of your league too. House so empty, need a centerpiece. 20 racks a table come from ebony. Cut that ivory into skinny pieces. Then she clean up with her face, but I love my baby. You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see a shade. Switch on my side, like take any lane. Switch on my core if I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. Every day a nigga try to test me, Every day a nigga try to end me, Pull if I kill any pain.
Dude, it reminds me like so much of like new age Michael Jackson.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
can see that.
Because it's like his moves and like the music, and even when I was watching the Super Bowl performance he did, all I was thinking was like, oh my god, this guy is like what is Michael Jackson to me? Like a great songwriter, but also like a great entertainer, dancer, and it's like I feel like he's filling all those same boxes.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson revolutionized music videos in the industry too. And this is like such a production, so I can totally
It's so
see
moody.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the like religious lightsaber is all about.
Dude, I was thinking about that too. I feel like I need to think on it more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
What I really like
really-
about the Weeknd is like just the level of curation. Like there's nothing earth shattering as far as like song structure or like time signatures or anything like that, and like a lot of the music that we listen to on this show. But what I think it's a home run on tones, a home run on like he has a very memorable voice and a vocal style. Just the thumping bass, like the really cool Daft Punk like backing vocals that like are just very signature and memorable of who they are. Like that's what I like about what he does and what the Weeknd does is it's just very memorable by how it's beautifully curated and it comes together as a single piece of music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I really think that he plays well with like Daft Punk's like techno sensibilities that they have. And he has a really good like sense of rhythm, blues, and soul to begin with, and the combination of that's really cool. I also really like that kind of anxious, kind of crazed tone that was at the beginning of the song to kind of set the mood for the whole video.
Yeah.
It was really, really kind of really cool, and I think that just it's the chorus and even just the a lot of times verses aren't, but even the verses of this are catchy,
Oh yeah, it's hooks on hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm like in a club, and then like you go to the VIP room, and then you go to that VIP room, but then you go to like the fourth VIP room where there's a bar, and you walk in, and it's like only billionaires on either side of you, right? And you just casually
sparsely
walk up.
packed.
Yeah, exactly. Not that many people. You just kind of walk up and order.
Everybody looks at you when you enter the room because it's that special.
Yeah.
Or they either look at you or they
Or
definitely
they don't.
don't.
Yeah, exactly. Or they don't because it's so casual.
I keep thinking about in the description, this was described as the Weeknd's attempt to murder his former personality. I feel like every artist has one of these songs or one of these moments as, throughout an artist's career, you're always growing and redefining yourself and, responding to lashback. And like this kind of honestly makes me think of, hopefully this is not too cheesy, but Taylor Swift, look what you made me do. That music video, and how that was kind of her just like, fuck you to everyone, I'm redefining myself. I sort of get that vibe.
That's a great comparison because that is absolutely what that song's about.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I definitely agree with that. We were talking on the show before about like an artist called Ray Montaigne and how like he used to go on tour after he released a new album and the audience would get like angry that he's not playing his old stuff. And, he would have to be like, oh, we're going to do it, but let me get this out. And, I feel like, and also when you were talking, I was thinking about David Bowie and how, he had so many, like, it's not just going to a new personality, it's ending the personality that you're in. It's like two processes, right? You have to stop something and then you have to start another thing. And I think that, it's hard to do.
And as an artist, like it's such an important thing to be true to where you are in that moment and exist as a new entity when it's time to do so. Like I think My Chemical Romance was talking about that, like after being on hiatus for so long and then coming back and touring, they're like, we don't even know how to, like Gerard Way was like, I don't even know how to be Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance anymore. Like when you think about like your physical body and the fact that like your cells are basically replacing themselves every 7 years, like you're almost,
oh God, I think about that all
like
the time,
you're physically not the same person. Like if leave the soul out of it, but like you're physically not the same person that you were 7 years ago, and like you're if you're drawing from your influences in your life to create art and music, like you almost have to kind of have like this ego death every time you put out an album and just be true to what that moment is.
And I feel like people, as an audience, you might forget that that snapshot of who the artist was when they became really famous, the artist that you first learned about and became a fan of, that's not always who they've been either. They were many other versions of themselves before they got famous that you might not have known. So it's kind of only natural that even after fame, they're still going to be changing and redefining themselves.
Yeah.
What do you think, EJ?
Oh, I just really, really like the song, and I like where it's going, and I like just the mood of it in general. And
It's
I
chill.
really think that's really chill, and it's something I could see putting on. Definitely.
Let's jump back into it.
Look what you done.
That part's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like, look what you made me do.
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
so tough.
That's the Michael Jackson thing. Like, that's a very like Michael Jackson nod.
I'm a motherfucking starboy. Let a nigga Brad Pitt, legend of the fall, took the year like a bandit. Bought mama a crib and a brand new wagon. Now she hit the grocery shop looking lavish. Star Trek roof in the Wraith the Con. Girls get loose when they hear the song. 100 on the dash, get me close to God. We don't pray for love, we just pray for cause. House so empty, need a centerpiece.
It's chill and it goes hard at the same time.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a lot of money.
You talking money, need a hearing aid. You talking about me, I don't see the shade. Switch on my side, I take any lane. I switch on my core if I kill any pain. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking starboy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking starboy.
Yeah.
Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking starboy. Look what you done. I'm a motherfucking starboy.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Same.
And the beat's so subtle, you know, it's not like in your face, like some crazy synth lead or whatever. It's like mainly him. It's like 85% him. And then the 15 is just like kind of pushing him, like, you know, in the right direction.
There's a lot of confidence in that space that he gives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as far as the video, it's a beautiful video. Like the lighting and everything, the camera angles.
was
and
like
all
a
that
movie.
stuff's really cool. Yeah,
It was
liked
you
it.
know, definitely high budget.
I feel like the more I listen to it and actually read the lyrics, I feel like this really is maybe personal to him. Like this is really about this journey that he's on, and some of it I think is actually like a little bit dark and very reflective.
Mhm.
Like thinking about the cross we were talking about, what does that represent? Like the whole idea of him murdering his former self. And then the title of the song is Starboy. To me, that just makes me think of this like spiritual element where, bear with me here, but Starboy could have like a dual meaning. Starboy meaning like you're a star, you're super famous, but it also just makes me think of like you've like gone to heaven. Like there's another part of you that's like up in the sky and the stars, and the cross is kind of representative of like that death. So there's kind of like this religious element to it too.
That's interesting because my impression of the song has definitely been it's like him talking to himself, but I was thinking it was from the perspective of the new version of him. But it almost like that interpretation, it could almost be like, oh no, that's his dead persona. Like,
Yeah, I think it's like both maybe at different times depending on
how you look at it.
how you look at it.
Yeah, my take was, you know, how someone says like something's their cross to bear. So maybe it's like all the things that like held him back or hanging over his head. And it's like an ego death thing where you're like kind of using all of that as a cudgel to like, you know, become a new person, I guess.
It almost seems like there's a little bit of angst, like maybe a little bit of anger in there too about like, you guys made me do this. Like, because he says, look what you've done.
Right.
Like again,
Right.
it just keeps making me think of that Taylor Swift music video where it's like, okay, you guys kind of forced me to this point where I had to, you know, murder this former version of myself and evolve. So it's like I did this by choice, but I was also kind of pushed to it. That's sort of the vibe that I get.
Nice. Well, let us know what you think about this great music video and what it means to you. And let us know what song by The Weeknd we should listen to next. Hi, this is Mike with Galaxy Jams Reacts. We hope that you enjoyed that React video. Be sure to check out the links below of when we're going to be live streaming our next show and also how to watch full episodes. Please hit that subscribe button. Every single one helps.